Good morning, second grade. It is Monday, December the 14th. It is our last week of school before Christmas vacation, but we have a lot to do this week. We have a lot of fun activities going on this week, too. So you want to make sure that you're on the Google Meets this week because you never know when one of those Google Meets might really change into something else that might be fun. So make sure that you're getting on. This morning's Google Meet will be at 9:30. I need my red group to get on at 9:30 today, and then around 11 o'clock is library. So get on around 11 o'clock for library. Everybody is on library. And then this afternoon and it says, does it say 12 or 12:30 today? 12:15. At 12:15 today, we have our reading Google Meet. So and then we're just going to have reading and math back to back once we get on at 12:15 this afternoon. So red group 9:30, libraries are at 11, and then at 12:15 starts the reading and math Google Meet. Okay, here's our new book for today for AJ, Breakfast with AJ. This is called Miss Tracy is Spacey, and this is what it says. Miss Universe is coming to elementary school. Her real name is Miss Tracy, and she's a retired scientist who will teach the students about planets and the solar system. But what happens when AJ has to be Uranus in the school play? Things are about to get out of this world weird. Chapter 1. Chapter 1. Welcome, Miss Universe. My name is AJ, and I hate putting on plays. Plays are dumb. You have to learn a bunch of lines. You have to stand up in front of the whole school. Everybody's watching. If you make a mistake, everybody laughs. Ugh, I hate plays. I had to be in a play this week. Here's what happened. Most days, I take the bus to school, but sometimes my dad drops me off on his way to work. When we pulled into the drop-off line the other day, there was a big sign on the front lawn of elementary school. Welcome, Miss Universe. My dad slammed on the brakes. Sorry, he said. I was reading that sign. Who's Miss Universe? I asked. Dad replied. We'd better park the car and go inside to find out. Don't you have to go to work, Dad? I asked. Your education is more important to me than work, AJ, he replied. We parked the car and went inside. There was another sign in the hallway. Miss Universe is coming to Mr. Cooper's class. That's my class. Dad and I walked 1,100,000 miles to the classroom. Dad walked really fast. It was like he was in a race or something. I guess he was in a hurry because he had to go to work. When we got to Mr. Cooper's class, you'll never believe who was sitting in the back of the room. Ryan's dad, and Michael's dad, and Alexia's dad, and Andrea's dad, and Emily's dad, and Neil's dad. All the dads were sitting in the back of the classroom. Even some dads of the kids in other classes were trying to get into the room. The place was crawling with dads. Some of them had to stand because there weren't enough chairs. That was weird. Usually our moms are the ones who come to school for assemblies and stuff. I said hi to Mr. Cooper and put my book bag in my cubby. Then I went to my seat. That's when our principal, Mr. Klutz, came into the room. He has no hair at all. I mean none. His head looks like one of those mannequins in the store window. Is Miss Universe really going to be here? One of the dads asked Mr. Klutz. You will get to meet her? Another dad asked another dad. Can we get our picture taken with Miss Universe? Asked a third dad. Gentlemen, Mr. Klutz replied, please calm down and stop pushing and shoving. Miss Universe will be here any minute, and you can all get your picture taken with her. Yay! Shouted all the dads. The only one in the room who didn't look happy about it was our teacher, Mr. Cooper. I was going to do a math lesson this morning, he told Mr. Klutz. Miss Universe is only available for a short time. Mr. Klutz told him, so you'll have to save that math lesson for another day. Fine with me. I hate math. Mr. Klutz went out into the hallway. I turned around and saw my dad fussing with his hair. That was weird. I never saw Dad fussing with his hair before. He hardly even had any hair to fuss with. We had to wait a long time for Miss Universe. The dads in the back of the room all looked like they were in pins and needles, but they weren't. At least some of them were sitting on chairs. It would have hurt to be on pins and needles. Finally, Mr. Klutz came back in the room. I'm happy to report that Miss Universe is here, he announced. Boys and girls, I'd like to introduce the one, the only, Miss Universe. All the dads pulled out their cell phones and held them up so they could take a picture. And you'll never believe in 1,100,000 years who came through the door at that moment. Nobody. You can't come through a door. Doors are made of wood, but you'll never believe in who came through the doorway. It was Miss Universe, of course. She was a short lady with gray hair who looked a lot like my grandmother. She was wearing a big yellow hat with tennis balls, ping pong balls, and some other balls hanging from it. Hi, everybody, Miss Universe said. My name is Miss Tracy, but you can call me Miss Universe because I'm here to teach you about astronomy. Oh, the dads in the back of the room groaned. Astronomy? What's that? Andrea Young, this annoying girl with curly brown hair, had already looked it up on her smartphone. Astronomy is the study of stars, planets, and other outer space, she said. All the dads stood up. Look at the time, one of them said. I'm going to be late for work. Me too, a few of the other dads said. I have an important meeting. I have a train to catch. So do I. All the dads started pushing and shoving to get out of the doorway. Wait, shouted Mr. Klutz. Don't you want to have your pictures taken with Miss Universe? No time. Sorry. Gotta run. A minute later, all the dads were gone. That was weird. I guess they didn't want to meet Miss Universe after all. And tomorrow we'll read chapters 2 and 3 so that we can get through our book. Tomorrow's chapter 2, is Space Week. So we'll see what happens in Space Week tomorrow. Okay, so I will talk to you in just a little bit. Goodbye.